So if you're not logged in, it should be logged into MindTap by now, hopefully. So click the arrow for chapter 4. Down here, lesson 2, posting amounts from the journal to the ledger. We're gonna number our accounts in the ledger first, though. So in the lesson review. So working papers. I'm gonna close that. So let's start with the work together. So here we have our chart of accounts. I'm going to hold the mouse in right here and move this down so you can see all of it. So these are our accounts, and then we've got the account numbers listed for each account. So the first step that we've got to do, so we've got all these down here too, all of our ledgers. We're going to fill in the post-reference numbers here with our account numbers from the general ledger. Let's see where this is at in here. So it shows, we had to do page 1 from our journal from last week. When we filled out that bottom part of the journal, page 1 up here goes on your ledgers. And then the second step is we're going to take our account number from the ledgers and put in the journal. So that way, if we're looking at a journal that's already been completed, we can see what account that transaction was posted to. So we should be able to go to the ledger for that account and see that transaction entered in that ledger. If it's not, then that causes some bigger issues, and then you'd have to dig deeper, especially if you're a forensic accountant. And that's vice versa. If you just pick up a list of a ledger to check on accounts progress, any kind of entry that's in the ledger, you should see a posting reference number there showing what page of the journal that transaction's from. So that you can go to the journal, and especially if you're a big company, you're going to have many pages in the journals. So you can go find that page and look for that transaction. The transaction is not listed in the journal, there's a problem. Or what if the amounts aren't correct? So there can be some issues with that. One of them being fraud or embezzlement from whoever was in charge of the entries. I keep moving the mouse over by the computer and it pushes in on the button. Push this down. Okay, so we've got our journal. So our first account is the owner's capital account. Our posting reference is going to go here. So we'll go up to our chart of accounts. Capital account is account 310. So just click here, 310. So their next one is prepaid insurance. So let's go find insurance on here somewhere. Here it is under assets, account 140. So 140. See what account number our supplies, 130. And then we've got, let's see, skip this one for accounts payable account for ready supply. Accounts payable for ready supply, it's account 210. Oops. 210. Then we have our cash account. That's a cash entry. Check mark means cash entry. So for this one, all we need is a check mark. So now we have our accounts receivable for Dan Carroll. So there's accounts receivable, Dan Carroll, 120. Rent expense, 510. Accounts payable, ready supply. Notice we've already got an entry for accounts payable, ready supply, so we know that one's 210. Accounts receivable for Dan. That's account 120, that's right there. Now I've got the owner's drawing account. So we'll go back up here. That's account 320. Okay, so now we have our account numbers filled in. So now we're going to fill in our ledgers, which is the tracking for each separate account. Each separate account is going to have its own ledger or own book. So we'll go back through the journal, look for accounts receivable for Dan, and see when his first transaction is. So accounts payable, there's accounts receivable for Dan, April 9th, for $122 debit. We'll type in APR. Remember, we got to put in the period there, or it's going to mark it wrong. April 9th. And we don't need to put any description in here or anything, but we do have to have our posting reference. That's up here on the journal, which is page 1. So we can put a 1 there. And then he had a debit of $122. So we can put 122 in here. So the transaction, remember, these are your transactions. And then down here is going to be the balance after the transaction happened. So he had a debit of 122. So that makes the new balance is going to be $122 debit. So that's the balance on the account. Oh. Keep trying to put in that extra 0. So there's that. So let's go back up and see if there's any more for Dan. So on the 16th, looks like he had a credit for $65. So the 16th, we already know this is page 1 of the journal. So now he has a credit of $65. So his previous balance was $122 debit. So now he gets credited for $65. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply this credit to the debit. So we're going to subtract 65 from 122, which is going to leave him with a new lower debit of only $57 now as his new balance. There's that one. So we'll go down here to supplies. See what kind of supplies transactions we had. So it has April 4th supplies for $160 debit. APR 4. That's page 1 of the journal. That was $160 debit. So that's the only entry for supplies. So let's go down here for prepaid insurance. So let's see what we have up here for insurance. So April 3rd, right here, have a debit for $330. So APR third, page 1 of the journal. The debit was $331, $330. So they had the debit for the prepaid insurance. So now the new balance, because we had that debit of $330, so the new balance before it was blank. So now the new balance is $330, and I don't think I did the balance for supplies. Let's go back to supplies. Right. So I had that debit entry. So now we have to update the balance for supplies. So the new balance for supplies is $160. We got supplies, insurance. Now I'll do the accounts payable. So let's find accounts payable. So that was on April 4th. We know that because it's blank underneath the 4. It happened on the same day. So April 4th, accounts payable, ready supply, got credit of $160. So credit of $160 was the transaction. So then our new balance is $160 credit. Then he had another transaction on the 15th for a debit of $80. So we'll go down here, APR 16. The debit on that one was 80. So now just like on the other account up here, so now the previous balance on this was he had $160 credit. Well, now we're going to basically apply this debit to the credit. So basically we're going to subtract the debit from the credit, so that brings the credit down to only $80. So then we'll go down to capital account, April 1st, a credit of $2,500. Page 1, credit $2,500, makes the new balance $2,500. And we'll do the drawing. Drawing was on the 3rd or the 25th for a $500 debit. $500, 500 debit, and then 500 debit. I had to get that. It's running out of time on the clock kicked down.